Let's talk about the 3 reasons why lightworkers, healers, intuitives, the energetically sensitive people that are here to light up the world and, help, need to speak their truth. I'm going to tell you because it's been one of the most difficult things for me on my journey because I wanted to hide. I wanted to fly under the radar. I had all of these wounds from this lifetime, from my childhood, and from past lives that I had to heal before I could do this effectively. And once I learned how to speak my truth and unblock my voice and share that with the world, my entire life changed for the better in terms of my relationships, my abundance, and honestly, my health and happiness as well. So most of us have things that we have trouble speaking out loud. But for those of us that are light workers, that are leaders of the new earth, that are here to help, that look at the world and see that there's things that we could improve, most of us have this thing that we have to overcome. It's a legit hurdle because we have not felt safe to be fully expressed, and it's not even been safe to be seen. And this can be, again, from your past lives and from your Akashics or from this life. There's been judgment. It's even in the collective where we just have this understanding that it's not safe to share our voice. It's not safe to be seen. But I have to tell you, that was then. And now is the time that we are here to liberate our soul expression. We're here to unblock our voice and utilize it to speak our truth and allow that to amplify our magic and amplify our creation and manifestation capacity and do so much more good in the world. So we have to get over ourselves and just show up and do it. But that's not as easy as just doing it. I know this because I have been terrified and I've had to go through a long process to be the divine channel that I am now, where I can speak without fear of the consequences, even though sometimes there are consequences because not everyone's going to like what you have to say. I have had to learn to express myself fully in so many different ways, and I'm going to get deeper into that. But first of all, hi. If we haven't actually met before, I'm Casey Knight, and I am here as a coach, mentor, and activator for lightworkers, healers, and beautiful, creative, heart-centered entrepreneurs that are here to express themselves, share their soul gifts with the world, and become abundant as fuck along the way. So, I want to share with you the 3 reasons why I think now is the time, and you unblocking your throat chakra and sharing your voice, your truth, and really expressing yourself is absolutely essential. Number 1, it is only when you liberate your voice and your authentic self-expression instead of hiding behind masks or completely hiding it and not speaking it at all, that your soul family can see you, feel you, hear you, and find you. This was a really big one for me, and I'll explain a little bit more in a moment here. I think I want to give you the other 2, and then I'll go deeper into all 3. I had to take a moment to be like, how do I want to do this? So number 2 is because your voice is freaking magical. And when you are a clear channel, you can speak and then the reality will rewrite itself to be in alignment with what you have said. Right? In the beginning was the word, and the word was creation energy. So we want to be able to tap into that so you can do the creation and manifestation that you know is possible. The number 3, we really need all hands on deck right now to be an example of what is possible. And when you do it, then you give other people permission to do the same. And it's the time right now. Right now is the time. It's not about waiting anymore. It is about action for those of us that have been on this path for a while, because the world needs more examples of what it looks like to be liberated, to be expressed, and to be rock solid in your truth. So, for myself, I have always been a mystic. I have always known that I was here to help In fact, I was told by Spirit when I was just about 8 years old that I was supposed to be a spiritual teacher. Freaked me out. I was like, whoa, 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 no, I'm just a kid. And Spirit, this voice of creation that engulfed me with beautiful energy and divine love, but inevitability, was like, when you're older. And I knew it was going to be this global mission, but I am old enough that the internet did not really exist yet. I am 41 years old. And so when I was 8, like there were some people maybe playing with some internet pieces, but it wasn't the thing that it was right now. So a global mission meant you had to be famous. I was terrified, and I spent many, many years hiding my magic, hiding my truth, hiding my capacity as a mystic to speak to spirit, to see the ghosties, to be a medium, to talk to dead people, to connect with angels and aliens and all of the things that I do. I was afraid of sharing that because I had all of this wounding inside of me that I had to go through and heal. And it was not just one thing. I wish I could just give you, just do this one thing and you'll be able to unblock your throat chakra and speak. It's not just one mantra. It's not just one action, because you might have wounding, on your personal level from your childhood, where you were told that you were too much and you were, too loud, and you might need to heal that. You might have been told that your opinions weren't valid, or you might have been in abusive or neglectful situations where you would speak and nobody would listen. You might have been a baby who was left to cry, and you learned that no one was coming, no one was listening. Maybe you were sleep trained and you were left to cry because that was the prevalent advice at the time. And so you learned that just using your voice, nothing was going to change, nothing mattered. It also could be from the collective, from all of those stories that we have about people, being stoned or burned for their magic, for their truth, for their voice. People who've been ostracized, excommunicated, and exiled. You might have that in your Akashics, in your past life. I have so many examples, if I go through my Akashics, of times where I had been exiled when I actually came into my abilities as a divine channel. Over and over again in these different lifetimes, I would be excommunicated. And I remember wandering around in the desert at like 11, 12 years old until I died because of my capacity to speak truth and use my voice. And you might even have some implanted records that are, we're not getting into that fully today, but sometimes it's to teach you a lesson that you haven't actually lived through, that you get to also recognize as a truth that is something that has happened, but it doesn't have to be your truth in this lifetime. So we get to do the cleaning and clearing work and really go into that was then, and this is now. And now is a different time. The world is undergoing a massive acceleration in the evolution of human consciousness, whether you're calling it just the ascension and creation of a new earth, or you're just looking around and seeing that truth is being illuminated and people's voices are finally being shared in ways that they haven't before. Everything from the social justice movements, Me Too, Black Lives Matter, the First Nations, Truth and Reconciliation. There is so much that has been under the dark, shadowy aspects where people didn't talk about it. People didn't talk about mental health. People didn't talk about so many different things in the past that we're now illuminating and we're speaking of. And it's great, but it's also causing a lot of chaos because it's uncomfortable to witness truth when it's all so complicated and so full of distortions and pain from what has been and what hasn't been seen. Everything's being illuminated to be seen, to be loved, to be felt, to be heard, to be witnessed, and then to be healed. We're at this time right now where we need all of these voices on deck. And if you are here as a light worker, as an energetically sensitive soul who is here to help, then you are here to share your voice, whether that's just in your close relationships or as a teacher, as a coach, as a healer, as someone who is an example of what is possible. And the thing is, when you unblock that voice and you really start to speak your truth and share your light with the world, and you're no longer masking or pretending with what you say and who you are and who you claim to be, then your truth gets to be illuminated and expressed, right? I used to pretend all the time that I had my shit together and I had no needs because I had a hyper independent trauma response, and I did not want anyone to know that I had needs because my needs had not been met as a child, especially my emotional needs. So I just wanted to be cool as a cucumber, and I really wished that I could be a Vulcan. I was like, oh, that would be greatest. I don't want to have feelings. I would like to be like Spock, live long and prosper. The Vulcan way was something I was obsessed with as a child and a teenager. And I had to learn to allow my emotions to flow and to actually express my needs. And that came in different waves, and I needed to find people who could hold me. Thankfully, my husband was one of those people who was like, you need to express the feelings, not just the happy ones. And that was a journey for me. I had to learn to work with the element of water, the emotional realm. And when I did, when I allowed myself to actually feel things, then it nourished and watered my life, and my relationships and my experience on this planet became so much richer. It blossomed, but I didn't feel safe to do that. And I got to go on this journey. And I say I got to, like I probably had to, and I should have, but I got to go on the journey of reconnecting to who I really was as both a mystic and a divine being here to help, because I always knew that I was supposed to be a healer, a teacher, someone to share. As much as I rejected it, I knew in the core of my being I was supposed to do that. But I was also here to be human, to have feelings, to express my needs, and that the imperfection of our humanity is what makes it so divinely perfect, because it's always about reconciling those opposites, right? We are divinely perfect in our imperfections, and the fact that we are human is actually such a beautiful gift. But before I was doing that, the group of people that I happened to be good friends with and that I was around, there was a distance between us because I wasn't able to fully express me. I wasn't able to fully share what I was here to do. I wasn't able to fully speak my truth, and that meant they could never know me. They could never know me. They knew the mask. They knew who they thought Casey was. They knew who I projected myself to be, and they knew who they thought I was with all of their observations and their experiences. But there was a distance because I was not actually letting my full self be seen. When I did, when I learned how to, when I started bringing in my power and my magic and my truth, my deep connection to spirit, which was terrifying for me to share because of, again, all of this wounding that I had, there were people that left my life. There were people that pieced out. It created a lot of space. It basically did this sorting. And for a while, I was a little bit lonely. And then there was all of this space for the people who actually would resonate, who actually got me and liked me for who I actually am, who really could feel my energy, and they were like, yes, more of this, please. They came in as friends, as clients, as beautiful people on my social media channels, right? On TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, here on YouTube. The people that were my soul family, that I am here to really be with, that I'm here to serve, that I'm here to play and grow and learn and explore with, they found me and they were like, yes, we feel you. There were people that hear my soul voice, especially from doing light language transmissions, who would just hear and be like, oh my gosh, you feel like home. Oh my goodness, there you are. How can I work with you? And they wouldn't even know what I do. Your voice is so powerful. When you are truly able to channel your divine essence and speak from your heart, your soul, your lived experience unapologetically in this really authentic way, it is something that can be felt. And that will possibly sort things out in your life. And you might have some people move away who are like, ooh, you're not who I thought you were. Or you're really fake and phony now is something that I got. I'm like, I am more real than ever. You liked the old version of me, which is really crazy. So we have to be really solid in self and be like, okay with the fact that not everyone's going to get it. Not everyone's going to like it. But it will create that space for your soul family to come in and feel you and find you. If you aren't sharing you, how the heck are you able to magnetize those people in? You can't, because you're a transceiver, right? You are here to share the energy of your essence. And if you're hiding your essence, your truth, your voice, your magic, your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, your values, your people will never find you. Or maybe a few will by happenstance, but not the amount. We are here to be divinely connected with each other and exchange keys and codes and have these incredible conversations. So we get to really play with the ability to express ourselves so that our people feel us and they will be magnetically drawn to us. And if you're here as a healer, helper, teacher, I think it's our responsibility to be visible, to be found, for people to see us and to feel us and to find us. And your voice is magical. Your voice is so magical. And when you clear out all of the density and the stuff that's not you, whether that's traumas or belief systems or just anything that's in the way of your full expression, and you become a clear channel, you can actually really create more of that magnetic magic through people feeling your true tones, but also as you speak, so it is. There is just so much more possible when you speak as a clear channel. When you speak from your soul, from your heart, from your essence, and you put it out forward, you can literally create and manifest with your word if it's in alignment. And so this is the thing. A lot of people are trying to create and manifest something that is not true for them and that they don't believe in, or it's coming from the ego level or something they think they should do. And so it never really works the same way. But when you learn to channel your voice, your divine truth, you're going to say the things that are true, that are already existing in the future for you. And then you will be this match, this energetic frequency match for that to come into your life, because it's already in your destiny. It's already in the quantum, first off, and then you just get to pull it forward. But when it's your soul truth and not somebody else's, it wants you the same way that you desire it, because it's so in alignment, and it will just come to be, right? Much more easily. Now, that's not to say that there's not work that we have to put in to create, and that's why I prefer creation over manifestation. But you'll be amazed. You can just sometimes, when you are in this clear channel and you're speaking your truth and you're a channel for your divine essence and your frequencies and your magic and your light, you just say something and you're like, oh, interesting. And then it'll just happen with very little effort on your part. And you're like, oh, cool. Your voice gets to become a creation tool. Your word also, when you're in integrity and alignment, is just so much more powerful, right? And when you're wearing all those masks and you're not speaking your truth, then none of that is happening, right? Number 3 that I was saying was to be an example of what is possible, because this world has had enough lies. This world has had enough half-truths, and I know that I am here to inspire other people to speak their truth and share their essence and share their light, so that they can ripple that out and ripple that out and ripple that out and inspire others, just as so many other people on Team Humanity are doing at the same time as me. Everyone who is a coach, healer, teacher, who is in that divine truth and integrity is inspiring people to be more of themselves, to come home to themselves and to live in this embodied way, because that is how we change this planet faster than anything. There has been a very, very long era of distortion and false light and half-truths and many lies, and that time is over. Well, it's coming to an end, but we're birthing this new era, this new earth, this new experience in this reality at the same time the other one is dying. And so we just need all hands, all hearts, all voices on deck, speaking the capital T truths that come through all of us. It's my favorite thing when I hear other teachers talking about the same thing as me. Instead of that throwing me into scarcity, going like, oh no, I'm not saying something original, I go, oh my God, thank God they're saying it too, because we need as many people as possible to hear this as possible. This is beyond the realm of predictable. We need the possible, and the surprising thing is just how, when you distill the essence down, people who are really teaching in truth and integrity, they're speaking the same truths from their own vantage point, from their own experience, from their own embodied wisdom, in their own way, but it all really comes back to the same thing. And that is something I celebrate, because we need your voice to also speak the capital T truths and your own individual truths, because it will resonate with people in a different way. I need you to also use your voice, to also share your truth, because if I say it to somebody, it might not land the same way as if you say it. Partially because of the tones that are in your voice that people need your energy behind it, because it's going to click in them. And sometimes it's about timing. You know how you heard something 100 times, but then somebody just says it in a new way and you're like, oh, I get it now. And it could be just timing because you were ready to hear it. It can be about the repetition factor, because sometimes we need to hear things 1,000,000 times before it really sinks in. And it could be about that person just had the perfect way of saying it from their experience that is going to resonate with you. And so what if you could be that person? What if you could be that voice for someone else? And I'm not just talking if you're a teacher, a healer, a leader, you're a content creator, and you're very visible in public as an author or speaker or whatever. It could be a child that needs to hear your voice, your kid, a kid you're teaching, your friend's kid. It could be somebody that you sit next to on a plane and you just have a conversation and they never see or hear from you again, but you said something that was your truth that just hit them so deep that they changed forever because of it. Because you know you've had those conversations. You know you've been on the receiving end of those mic drops, wisdom bombs that can feel so offhand. You're just traveling and somebody says something and you're like, worldview changed. Wow. You get to be that for other people just as much as they get here to be that for you. We are co-creators. This is Team Humanity doing it all together, and it gets to be fun. So unleashing and liberating your voice, your authentic truth, your ability to channel your divine essence is one of the most important things that you will do. I am here to help you with that in any way that I can. If you would like free resources, come into my free Facebook group, Luminous Evolution. Join us inside the free Frequency Upgrade Academy, where I share some of my favorite tools to help you feel so solid that you can speak your truth more easily and you can be that light that you are here to do. And of course, you can also unlock your voice with me in private mentorship and coaching, or even in some of my self-study courses, like unlocking your soul voice with light language. I have a masterclass that's available for $11 with 3 secrets to unlocking your soul voice, or your light language, so you can speak from the soul. There are so many ways that I can help with the repatterning of the subconscious mind that says it's not safe to share, with tools that actually work, but also my embodied experience, because I know what it feels like to be like, I cannot share my experiences because they will not understand. I've been there, but I'm also here now. And through the turmoil and trouble and pain that I have gone through to get here, I am so happy to share with you all of the tricks, tools and techniques that have worked for me and worked for hundreds of my clients as well. So this is the journey that we're going on now. I have declared this the Soul Voice Summer. We are having so much fun even inside my membership, where we are unlocking and going deeper into the how of how to speak your truth even when you're terrified, and so much more. So please make sure you share this out and subscribe if you don't want to miss any of these conversations. So fun that we could do this together, and I'm just sending so much love to you, and I want to be grateful that you've taken the time to be here on the planet right now and listen to this, because I know that it is not easy, but you're here, and that's the important thing. Even if your life is not what you dream it to be right now, the fact that you're still alive and that you are here and ready to liberate your voice in your authentic expression means that things are about to take off for you. So enjoy the ride.